Hi, it's Sandra Rogers from the Branch Road. I'm going to be watering my plants and just checking on them and see how they're doing. There's been a lot of growth in the last week. I took some time off because, life has thrown some challenges to Nova Scotia and just wanted to get right with myself. So I'm reaching out today just to see how you're doing with your gardening and to see how it's growing. So I'm just going to go through. I've taken the lids off a lot of the plants, and see that? Those are the leeks I planted. In the middle, there's no growth. I actually had something in my glass, I think, when I watered one time, and I drank that Karen phytoplankton, and I think it was on top of the soil and it kind of turned green. So I'm not sure how that affected. It's decomposed now, but these are the tough guys that survived it. Some of them didn't, unfortunately. And I think the same thing happened with the cilantro in the middle. I had some left in my glass. I added some water. I noticed it needed water, so you got to be careful doing that. Just water them with water. Those are my cilantro. They're still doing really well. This is the second planting. These guys will be transplanted out into the garden. And there's the oregano. The oregano, I just went through and just watered it already because it couldn't wait for me to start my videoing. But yeah, these guys are doing good. So I've got a whole bunch of little plants here. I can divide this up and give some of it away and eat some of it, whatever I want. There's the cilantro. Cilantro is doing really good, and we've been eating it. We just snip off a little piece here and there and add it to soups and salads and just eat it plain the way it is. Look how cute this is. I didn't grow this. My friend Kaylee grew this. I'm so proud of her. Yes, look, it's waving. Hello, Sandy. Don't forget to water me. My rutabaga is doing great. It's very nice, my rutabaga. Yeah, look at that. It's doing good. Now, you can see the little plant? It's kind of in the shadow of the other one. I think I need to move these and split these guys up a little bit and give them a little more room. So to get the basil to perform, put the cover on this, water it good, and it keeps it warm, and basil likes it hot. That's why Mediterranean countries like Italy, they grow lots of basil and eat it with olives. It's really yummy. It's harder for us because it's not hot enough, so you got to kind of help it along. Get your basil growing, keep it warm. It likes it hot. My beets are starting to fall down. They had the lid on them. I think some of them touched the top already, and they need to be split up. So they're doing all right, but they're planted too close together. You can see where I've had a few oopses. Oops. This is my lettuce mix. I think I planted it maybe 5 days ago. Give it a little spray and keep it in the sun and put the cover on it. Keep it moist and it'll keep it warmer. It'll make it 5 degrees warmer. So at night it gets really cold here. So I keep the heater on in the porch to try to keep it 16 degrees in here warm, And at night, though, these guys are next to the window. It gets a lot colder. So if I put the lid on, it's going to make it, 18 degrees in there and drop down to maybe 10 instead of the actual 4 or 5 that it is outside. These are my mixed Asian greens. Now look how good these are doing. These were planted the same time as my lettuce mix. Wow, look at that. These guys are strong plants. They're prolific. Look at them. Wow, that's a week's growth. Wow, that's impressive. So we'll just give them a little spray. Now, that makes a lot of difference, having the cover on it. Keeps it warm. So wet it good, pop the top on, and let the sun warm it up. If it's a cloudy day, it'll still be warmer in there. It's like having a cloudy day. And then when the sun comes out, let them have a little bit of sunshine. Let them feel the real sun. Shake them a little bit. Give them a little breeze. If they were outside right now, it's so windy out. So you kind of want to simulate a little bit of what real life is like. They have this perfect environment, and then you shove them outside and they've got to deal with stuff, and that's a struggle for them. So that's why I spray them instead of always water them, because it gives them a feeling of a little bit of motion when the droplets hit them. And sometimes it comes out of this little thing a little bit fast. So it's like, oh. But you know what? That's sometimes the rain comes down like that, and sometimes the wind is crazy. So these guys got to get some exposure. And when you start to move these plants outside, you kind of got to do it in little stages. Just let them have a little bit exposure. Put them outside for a little while. What you're going to plant, let's say in a week's time, start putting it out just for a little bit of time on a nice day, and let it, not a crazy windy day, but just a little bit of what the breeze is going to be like, and then bring it back in. And just get it kind of like strengthened up for the big move, and it won't shock it so much. So yeah, I'm proud of these guys. Asian mixed greens. I can't wait to see what this is going to be. Yummy. These are my Swiss chard plants. Now, I actually started enough for 2 trays because I kind of just sprinkled them in willy-nilly, and there was lots in here. So when they started coming up, I started dividing them. So I've already divided them into 2 trays. They're starting to get big. Like once they start touching the top of the container, they're like not liking that. So yeah, I gotta split them up again probably because they're sticking together. But yeah, these guys are doing good. Getting that, this is a little bit simulated windy day. Whoa, it's windy today. Oh my God, it's windy. Yeah, when the sun comes in this room, it's really nice. It's beautiful. And there's a nice view from here. Yes, I'm enjoying life here. It's nice. I feel comfortable. I feel happy to have a place to plant in finally. I'll show you the other half of the room. We'll see what's going on over there. So on this side of the room, I've put some sweet pea seeds that I just started. I wet them really good, and then I just sprinkled a little dirt over them. I dumped a lot of seeds in them. Depending on what comes up, the seed was old, so I'm not sure if it's all going to come up or not. So just planted almost the entire package. If they all come up, I've got lots of locations to put them. My sunflower seeds, they're getting tired of being in captivity. They'd like to go out. Look how wilted they are. You see, this is what happens when they don't get their water. I was busy doing other things. You think they'll forgive me? I'm not sure. We'll see. So if you have a little mishap like I did and let them go a little too long, they're a little dried, wet them good, give them a good soak, and then set them in the shade. So out of the sunlight. Don't set them right back in the sunlight because they're already struggly, and you've wet them. If you get them sunburn as well, you'll likely kill them. So just give them a little spray. Now I may have rescued them, but they're looking a little bit sad. And that can happen. I mean, life gets busy, things happen. So you try, you do your best. Sometimes directly seeing stuff outside is a great idea because of that. But where our season is short, it's worth the effort to try and plant things inside and nurture them, and hopefully they make it. So these are my little celery plants. I just want to see how their roots are doing. I'm just going to pluck one of these guys out of the soil so we can see how its root system is. And then I'll have to retransplant it anyways, but let's just see. Oh, look at that. Wow. Yeah, he's doing really good. Now this has got to be dealt with now since I pulled him out. So I'm going to move him into some soil right away. Okay, so this plant is doing really well. You see, that was grown from what most people would throw in their compost. And it's got a really massive root system already. So I'm going to replant them, give them a really nice place to live, Try to get those roots comfy in there. Make sure they're all covered back up. Be gentle with them. It's a living thing, right? Handle with care. Okay, so we might as well move the other one that was alongside of it, because there's no doubt in my mind that it has also a massive root system, or at least it would be unlikely if it didn't. So let's pull it out. It's not quite as big, and you can tell because comparatively the tops of them are different. It's got long roots. It's doing all right. So it's getting transplanted. This is how you transplant stuff. You do it when you notice that it needs to be done. Gardening and procrastinating don't work as good together. Give it a really good spray. Spraying doesn't water the soil sufficiently. Take half a cup of water and pour it in there too, because these guys are going to have air spaces around where the roots are, and if there's too much air around the roots, it's not good. A little bit of aeration isn't bad, but you don't want gaping holes, and you want the roots to be covered. The sunlight won't hit them. There, how nice is that? These guys did good too. So these are my tomatoes. They turned out pretty good. There's enough of them. Considering I don't eat very much tomato, these guys will supply plenty. I will use it to cook with in a pressure cooker that breaks down the lectins, but otherwise my body identifies it as a poison, so I just try to avoid nightshade. My body finds tomatoes a little bit alien. I love the taste of them, but I made myself ill from overeating them, and they caused a leaky gut, man, so no. No thanks. I'll pass. I mean, if I make my own tomato sauce with this and I cook it in the pressure cooker for a long time, it'll really break down the lectins, and I have to toss out all the seed and skins. Just eat that and I should be all right. So we're going to try and see. I'll know right away if it doesn't work. All right, so I'm going to keep the top on the tomato plants because, again, they like it really hot. So this kind of creates a little greenhouse. I'm going to move them over here into the sunny location where the other stuff was sitting. This is some tarragon that I planted. It hasn't come up yet. These guys take a long time to come up. So you got to keep watering them. It could take 2 weeks for these guys to come up because they're really slow in that growth period to start. I think they have a hard shell or something maybe in their casing. The seed casing must be tough, but they're real slow. So we'll see. And I'm not even sure, like some of the seed, this isn't seed I bought this year. This is older seed. I didn't plant last summer because we moved and I didn't have a place to plant. So it's 2 years old and it could have froze. It could have, who knows? I'm not sure. So some of my stuff was put into storage and my seeds might have gotten exposed to freezing temperatures, and likely. I planted some hyssop. This has got a pretty flower to it. It's a purple shade flower, and it makes teas and it's got a nice flavor to it. So we're gonna try this. I want to start making my own tea, so I want to grow the herbs that easily convert to tea. And this is my stevia. I'm trying stevia because it's an alternative sweetener, and you can eat it and put it in teas. It gives a sweet taste to it. So hopefully this seed didn't get wrecked. We'll see. If things don't come up in 2 weeks, I can order seed for the things. I want to try to plant all the seed I have. If it doesn't come up, then I'll know. 2 weeks from now, if there's nothing, at the very minimum 3 weeks from now, if there's nothing, the seed's no good. So we'll see. So I've got a whole bunch of egg cartons stacked here that I have been planting all these varieties of seeds. I mean, I have a lot of seeds because I'm like a weirdo collector. Seed collector! So, anyways, I've decided that I would plant these. Now, if this is more than I need, I will share it. So that's my plan. So I put them in the eggshells. When we did this before, I showed people how to, easy way to do this. So I'm utilizing this. This is a really great thing. So in this one, I've got dill planted, and I planted nasturtiums. Nasturtiums have really pretty petals, and they kind of droop over, and they look nice in baskets and on a porch or something. So they're a flower, but they also look nice in the garden, and they're edible. The leaves are edible, so you can put them in salads and stuff. I don't know, I haven't experimented that much with it, but I'm going to. So this is my calendula. Now the calendula, you can see there's one there, there's one there, and there's one there. So the calendula have already started to come up. So calendula is the one that I enjoy, tea with calendula in it. So I'm going to grow some for myself. And I have fennel planted. Now, so basically right now I'm just got to go through and I'm going to spray each one of these and just get them wet. And yeah, I don't think any of the other ones have come up yet. These were more recently planted. So nothing really to show you. So I wrote on the bottom, like, this was only planted April 29th. Today is only May 1st. So it's 2 days, nothing yet. A couple of them, like the calendula, I maybe planted 4 days ago. So 4 or 5 days ago, and they've started. So I'm happy to say that the seed is good. So what I can do with these, what my plan is, I've got cosmos planted, broccoli, butterflies, spinach, kale, fennel, nasturtium, and dill. So I'm going to plant even maybe some more of these, and then I can kind of divide these up. And if my friends and family would like some from little plants, then I can give them a couple in a container. We can just kind of mix up all these options. And yeah, then somebody else could have some seed. Oh, I wanted to show you also my potato plants. So these were potato plants that I planted a little longer ago. So you can kind of see, like, each week, say you buy a bag of potatoes. If you eat the whole bag of potatoes in a week and you cut all those sides off, you're going to have lots of these little guys. So a few weeks ago, I started stuffing them into the soil. So this guy might be a month old, but look how nice the plant is already. So these ones are from Red Organic Potatoes that we bought. Those are my white potatoes. So they're doing really good. And all I did when I was cutting up the potatoes, instead of washing and breaking off the eyes, I just cut a little bit off. You know, give it a little bit and then stick it in the ground, and there you have it. So these guys, I started later than those ones, but I covered them to try to catch them up a bit. Look how good these guys are. They're pretty big plants. So my intention with these guys is to put them out in the compost pile. Basically where I raked it over and I'm putting all the sticks and leaves and everything in there, that's where I'm going to plant the potatoes. And even if they all don't get down in the ground, they'll still grow potatoes. I've got a really big jump on that. So that's my gardening bit for today. During this time of transition, growing the garden vegetables has been really rewarding for me and helping me stay grounded, and going outside and planting my garden has been productive and worthwhile. And I've enjoyed it. And other creative ideas have come about while I've been gardening. And yeah, just a little, I sort of have a little notepad beside me and I write down different ideas as they come up. I find that as I'm growing, and other things in me are growing also. So this is just a little thought that came into my head. Gone are the days where you agreed with everything a person thinks. Accept our differences. Love ourselves, all the different parts of us. Create wholeness, oneness. Dream with care. Love each other. The truth will set us free. Peace and love from the Branch Road.